Need to talk about some Bravern. So make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So I made it my objective to sit down and actually look at the Bravern cards because I wanted to build premium Bravern. Now, for the way that some of these cards are going to work, there is a constructed ride line for them. All right, there are ways to get around that. Luckily for us, Dimensional Robo has great, fantastic support cards like this guy and this guy right here. Both of these are going to help you get to where you need to be, and also the bike basically helps you get to Allied Task Force every single, just on the ride. Like that's pretty good. Now, in comparison to the death, this thing right here. This thing is so good. So, Project turned this into a Gizeh deck. So first of all, you only gotta get this in the soul. I thought it was the starter. No, reading is objectively hard. All right, I didn't realize that the death drives can work with Gizeh, because you basically turn it into a passive 18k body, which means if you're going through the G guards and pulling this stuff back, and you're using Geoma Glass out here to pull through this cycle to kind of set up and do all this stuff, that's actually pretty good. Plus, with a Gizeh deck, that means that I don't have to do anything really too crazy. So my next objective is I want to approach the Death Drives deck as a Gizeh deck, just because you can extend the damage zone if your opponent's beating you down. You have Geoma Glass to turn all of your grade 3s and all that extra stuff into some insane value. The only real things that you're going to have to do are get the hero Lulu into the soul, which means you typically want to go first, which means you might be putting some pressure on your opponent, which is not the worst thing in the world, but I know I got sidetracked on the Gizeh discussion a little bit further ahead than what I really wanted to here. But honestly, though, I think that with having options like Gizeh on the table for the Death Drives deck, just for the damage zone extension, that's really freaking cool. Now, Mr. D Legion guy here, all right, for the application and things that you can work with. First of all, I thought this was a really cool card. I love the starter. It actually feels like, you're actually piloting the mecha. You're evolving with the robot to, evolve up and go. But I also love the rear guard concept with it. That's why I was a little bit more adamant about wanting to build this deck, because the lore of what we're working with just seemed really freaking cool, man. It's not every day that you get to sit down and work with that sort of stuff in terms of the deck building space, and I greatly appreciate that. Now, what makes this better than any other potential D-Robo candidate out there? Because let's call it what it is. There's so many ways to approach and to build D-Robo. You are 100% absolutely correct. There are plenty of other ways to explore this. But when Die Kaiser's Legion first got announced, I wanted to explore the idea of D-Legion. That's why there sits a dead D-Robo deck sitting here, confiscated, half of its remains gone. Because as much as building a pure D-Robo deck and, being able to use Die Kaiser to Legion, D-Legion is a pretty horrifyingly slow mechanic, which kind of turns me away a little bit from it. It's not bad. It's just, I want to ride the Break Ride Die Kaiser into the Legion Die Kaiser, to Legion into Dayusha, and Dayusha is just not a good card to really Legion with. It's cool, but sure, the best value you're gonna get is the try to restand off of it, and then you got to play really bad. I don't know, man. It was a cool gimmick, but I feel like the Bravern deck, I hate to say this, but it just feels better for what you're able to work with on top of that. So good job, Bushi, for the design space of this. I don't think you're going to be taking home any major premium events, but in the casual spectrum out here of what we're working with, I don't think it's necessarily that bad. You got to think about the casual aspect of things when you're getting in and exploring, the design space for this sort of stuff, because, if it works out for you and, you're able to have fun with it, that's all that really matters. Premium's been expanded into the two categories right now. You have the competitive side, then you're going to have the casual side. We've been hitting the casual side a lot more on this channel, which leads me into, if I'm going to go down the competitive side, we're going to convert this into a Gize deck, and I think that's a viable idea. Now, side note, in terms of conspiracy theories and things I want to build, I want to build the Ava Mujica deck as a Gize deck as well, or at least one of the new Bang Dream stuff. I have not had the time to design a extension of that. I know I had friends from an OCG player who just loves concepts. By the way, premium servers down below. I do tend to post. You guys are always like, proxies? Why don't we post the proxies? The proxies are in there for what we use. I'm not going to make anything beyond what we're using. If you guys want to test out, the bad ideas that we're testing, I just size them to the paper and hit print. I don't know why people seem to freak out. I had one guy message me. Side note, somebody messaged me. Was like, "Hey Robbie, can you teach me how to make proxies?" I'm like, as much as I love and support the idea of you wanting to learn proxies, I don't have time to teach you Photoshop. And I'm sorry. We use Photoshop to make the proxies, do some resizing. It's nothing really too spectacularly major in terms of that front. So Death Drive's Gize deck is my next future project beyond what we've already got. Problem is Bushiroad's coming up for us, so we're going to be in a really weird spot for some of the stuff you're going to be seeing coming out, because we have to make those adjustments for channel content to kind of go forward, just because there's really, really weird times that are coming up here. Outside of that, premium as a whole, I didn't think I would like the Bravern stuff, but it's fine. A lot of the rest of the stuff, Platinum Azel was... I wanted Azel to be a superior ride from the hand. I really did. I should have known that it wasn't going to actually be one. I appreciate the fact that, they've been working so hard to get us these nicer things, but I'm a little bit up on the fence about what I want to test from this upcoming set. I know there's a lot of cool moving pieces and all that fun, fancy stuff. Yeah, sure. But I don't know. I do think, obviously, we need a ban list to fix things up. And, and having a ride line and things. I've been seeing a lot more people in Cardfight area testing premium with a ride line. It's been interesting to see how much the community actually, supports the idea of the premium ride lines and the adaptability towards this. I didn't actually realize how much of the community actually looks at that and wants to consider that. Everybody's going to have their opinion on the perfect way to try to play premium Vanguard. All right, it is what it is. This is what happens when the formats are so separate from each other. But it is a wild ride, to say the least. So, outside of that, we'll keep seeing, what is coming out here on the creativity side of things. I do know that Vanguard is going to be getting a new collab here soon, or at least we'll wait and see if that collab is going to look crazy fun. As you guys know, we've done a lot of exploring the Vanguard out here. I think this deck has been one of my favorites, which is a lot of fun out here, fundamentally, for what you can work with for it. Ragnarok was a pretty cool deck, but we'll have to wait and see, what cool new stuff is coming and how it's going to shape up the future out here. So please, take a second, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys are thinking about premium right now. And I think things are going to be kind of interesting. You guys have a good rest of your day, alright? Thanks for watching today's video. Check out tradingcardmint.com down below in the description. Enter MCOL40 on checkout. Save a little bit of money on your purchase. Check out mcolgames.com if you're interested in getting some cool play mats and single trading cards as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications so you don't miss one of our videos. Thanks for watching.